I think we can continue.
All right. So, in terms of, I was at job security. Yeah. Like I said, proper procedures are done with second checks, so you hardly make mistakes, and you always have this peace of mind. I've always had this peace of mind when as I started working with the NHS as compared to the care home. You know, excuse me. There's always this bickering, and I won't say it's stringent with my care home because I also work as an agency nurse with various care homes. I've been to at least about 15 care homes so far now, different care homes, different settings, different
Many?
owners, and yes,
How many?
and
How many?
about 15 because I travel quite a lot.
10.
15 different, yeah,
Is
and
that
it's
as an
practically
agency
like
nurse?
the same thing, agency nurse it is, yeah. So I've seen it all, It's practically like the same thing everywhere. This bickering, this I don't know, I wouldn't really want to delve really go deep into that. But unless you get here to witness for yourself, you really won't be able to understand what I'm saying. But there's this peace of mind you get when you are working with the NHS as compared to the care home. Then there's always fair disciplinary methods used, fair judgments if there's anything that happens at your place of work in the NHS as compared to the care homes. You know, unlike in the care home where you are really you have the owner of the home to answer to because I think he has the final say in everything, the owner of the home. But with the NHS, it's not the same. I wouldn't want to divulge really deep into that also, but there's this peace of mind you get when you are with the care NHS as compared to the care home. Then you have the ability to be able to report anyone that is not treating you fairly with the NHS, even including your matron. As compared to the care home, if the owner of the home is not treating you fairly, maybe it's racist or anything. I said maybe. Oh, I'm not saying all care home bosses are racist or anything. Maybe he's racist. Who do you want to
Okay.
report to? He's the owner of the home. Who do you report to? You report to anyone, you report to the authorities and they fire your ass. Sorry for saying that. What do you want to do to that? What would you do to that? As compared to the NHS, you can report to whoever it is. And there's something they will teach you during corporate induction. It's called ganging up bullying. Maybe because you reported someone, the friends will come gang up against you and start bullying you. You can even report them too. I've forgotten the name and the time for it. All these things are things they will train you and prepare you for, during your corporate induction with the NHS. So you are all the people those who are working in the NHS know, every staff know about this. So they tend to avoid, doing all these kind of things. You can report to whoever it is, tell whoever it is that I don't like the way you're treating me, get it sorted, or I take it up to the HR and nobody wants to be taken to the HR, So as compared to the care home,
What is it
I
the same
really
thing in the
can't
nursing home?
Then another advantage is we always have this proper nurse to patient ratio with the care with the NHS. The
Yeah.
proper nurse to patient ratio is 4:1, and they always try as much as possible, to stick to that to prevent nurses burnout. And the way they do it is we also have band threes and band twos in the ward. They are just like UAPs and LPNs for those who are used to the NCLEX system. Band three Band 3 nurses can do practically everything that you do as a registered nurse, apart from even in hemodialysis, they give some IV medication, some, quite a few, and they have to cross-check and second check with a band 5 registered nurse, but they practically do most things I do. The band 2s too will help with the things that the UAP or licensed assistive personnel too will do. Things like checking of vital signs, checking of temperature. So you discover that at the end of the day, the nursing team that you have on floor is quite much. as compared to the number of patients you have in the world. You could have about 18 patients in the world. And when you calculate the whole nursing team you have, you could be having up to about 11 plus the band threes and band twos. So there's hardly nursing burnout. There's hardly any mistakes, and they always follow that nursing ratio. But as compared to care home, whereby one registered nurse could be taking care of up to 32 residents, I wouldn't really say it's unfair because there's not much to do with care homes, as compared to the NHS. But at the same time, it's tiring. You can't divide yourself in multiple places. And I know it's very common with care homes, especially on their night duties, for you to be the only registered nurse in, to taking care of up to sometimes 42 residents. These are 42 different individuals with 42 different problems, So it's quite a huge advantage in terms of NHS as compared to the care home. Then another advantage is we always have proper break times.
You have so many advantages.
Yeah,
So
there
are
are
you
so
saying that there is
many.
no
The
disadvantage to
disadvantages too
working
are
in
much.
NHS
I have
hospitals?
about I have quite a lot of disadvantages too. So I don't know if there will be time. You could tell me to skip to the disadvantage and I'll skip straight to it if we don't have the time.
I'm
But
sure everybody wants to
I'll
hear
soon be
that.
through with the advantages anyway. I'm almost rounding up. So we always have this proper break time with the NHS Trust, and the freedom to do anything you want to do during your break. Unlike care home, I've been to several care homes. Even when you're on your break, you're not you're not entitled to do anything like sleep. You're on your break, you're not entitled to sleep, especially on night duties. You're not in care home.
Yes,
But
in
with
your
the
mind.
NHS Trust, you can even leave the hospital. You understand? You can even leave the hospital in as much as it's within that break time. You come back within that break time and you resume your work as soon as possible. You don't let it affect your duty. Nobody cares. People go downstairs, people go outside to have a fag, you know, and it's quite appalling when you think about the care home and you'll be like you're not really on break. They only give you the time to go and eat or the time to rest, not really rest like sleep, time to eat and time to be off the floor. That's what I would call. I wouldn't really call it a proper break as compared to the NHS trust. Then another advantage, I would really run through these advantages because they are not so important. The major ones are the ones I've discussed about. Is the opportunity to meet various individuals from different facets of life, with the NHS. You get that opportunity. You meet people from different cultures, different areas of life, different environments, different level of English language, so it improves you tend to improve yourself better in terms of environmental knowledge, cultural knowledge as compared to the care home. Now, due to the COVID, I don't think care homes have even started allowing visitors to visit the residents. But with the NHS, you still keep expanding, expanding. There are so many things I've learned that are out of clinical skills and clinical knowledge, due to me being with the NHS as compared to the care home. Then you have the flexibility to work in different settings. I'm currently a hemodialysis registered nurse. I can wake up tomorrow and say, I'm tired. I want to work in the theater. All I need to do is inform the HR and apply. And within few months, I'm there. You understand? I can wake up and say, okay, it's no longer the theater. I want to work in the ward. It's no longer in the ward radiological departments. And in as much as there's a registered nurse in that unit, you could apply to work in that unit. You don't really need to start writing exams, do this, do that. But with the care home, it's just you're on the floor, you're on the floor. There's no other different setting you can ever be, except if you want to change care homes. And if you change care homes, the only thing you're changing is the face of the residents you're taking care of because they all have the same settings, all care homes. So you're only seeing different residents and different staff. If you say you want to change your care home, as compared to the NHS, whereby different clinical skills entirely is what you get. Then this is another major advantage, and that's the final advantage. as compared to the care home with the NHS, there's great and numerous benefits you get. There are plethora. I would start with the maternity leave. Though you don't get the maternity leave benefits with the NHS unless you go for up to a year. So don't get that mixed up. But at least you know it's there for you. If like I tell people want to work with the care home, if it is not written in your contract, it is strictly at the discretion of your employer. Like nobody knew Corona or COVID would happen, and I have so many colleagues who complained bitterly that they were paid. Some were not even paid at all. Some were paid the minimum wage of £8 or £9 an hour as registered nurses simply because they were self-isolating. So what I tell people most of the time is if it is not written in your contract, just forget it, you're not covered for it, unless your employer feels like, you can't sue them or you can't take them to any place, any court. But with the NHS, you get benefits like maternity leave, paternity leave, sick leave. If it's not written in your contract as
Hold
a
on,
care home worker,
paternity. What do you mean by paternity?
I'm the father of the child. In my own NHS trust, you're given
How
1 month.
long are you entitled for?
1 month.
1
One
month.
month. And as an NHS worker, if you are the female that you want to go for a maternity leave, it varies with different trusts, but averagely you're covered for your full salary pay for 6 months, then half salary for the next 3 months. Then you might not get any other salary after that 9 months. But the thing is, you could use your annual leave. I've seen someone who did it in a legal way, whereby she took the 6 months, the next 3 months, the following 3 months, then took her annual leave after. So she's doing almost 1 year off work, due to maternity leaves. So it all depends. The best and the most you will get is maybe your full pay for 1 or 2 months, because it's not written in your contract. It's strictly at the discretion of your employers. So you need to take that into consideration. Then also, like I said, you're entitled to your sick leave. I think 28 working days is what you're entitled to for as an NHS worker, and it increases.
What happens if you don't fall sick? Like, we don't really fall sick. So what happens if you don't fall sick? Are they going to pay you that money?
No, it's just like a car insurance. You can't say because you've not had an accident in 1 year, you want to collect your premium that you've been paying. No, it doesn't work that way. So it's always there for you to, it's there for you to know it's there, for you to use. So you can't say because of that you want to collect. They don't pay you the money 3 times in terms of all those leaves and co. If you don't get pregnant all throughout your stay in NHS, 40 years, they won't pay you they won't say because of that they want to pay your maternity leave. No. Okay. Then if you were self-isolating, this is another benefit that some of my colleagues with the care home can get. You get your full pay. The government would advise that people should get their full pay regardless if they are self-isolating and co. But it's not your contract, there's nobody you can hold responsible to, if they don't pay you. So you need to think about that. Then finally, sorry, I just saw this, it was drifted on that. Flexible and unbiased shift pattern with the NHS Trust. Most of the rota is drafted and watched by the computer system to prevent nursing burnout. So you don't see situation where this nurse that you met in a care home will be telling you, I only want to work for weekends and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday and Friday is a constant day off for me. All those kind of hanky-panky games they play in the care home. You don't get that with the NHS Trust. Everybody is shifted accordingly and evenly, and there's no prejudice with the shifting pattern with the NHS as compared to the care home. So that brings me to the end of the advantage. Now the disadvantage. The disadvantage, it comes. The
Now,
number
this
one
video was
disadvantage.
supposed to be the differences, so we were supposed to say the pros and cons of each
Okay,
service.
that's
But
I say, okay, the
no,
cons, I will
this
say the
is going to
disadvantage. The
be
cons.
prolonged. So I'm just going to let you convince us why you should take NHS hospital. Then
Not really,
I'm
no,
going to
no,
do
no, no,
another.
no. I will be plain. That's why the cons too are a bit few. There are very stringent points to in the cons. So I want to
Yes,
open the
yes,
floor for
I know.
people to
They're
know
very
how
good
it
points.
is.
So no, they are very good points. So I'm actually
So
happy
that
that
you
you are
know how
really
it is in the
expanding.
NHS and the care home you choose.
Yeah.
It will be
Yeah,
very transparent.
I'm
Okay.
glad that you are expanding on each point, but
Fine.
I know a lot of people will not have the internet services back home to watch this long video.
So
So we're
long.
just going to say everything in detail now. Then I'm going to make like a short video summarizing everything between the NHS hospital and the nursing home. So guys, if you want to watch that video, I'm going to put it up sometime maybe next week on YouTube. But let's just continue with this video. So this video now, I'm changing the title from differences between nursing home and NHS hospital. I'm going to title it as why you should work in the NHS hospital because now I feel like you're convincing me
No,
already.
no. It's because you've not yet heard the disadvantages. That's why, or the cons.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
why. So,
Let's go with disadvantages.
the cons. The first one is the low pay rates. Now, disclaimer. Uh, well, let me just expand on that. As compared with the care home, the difference in the pay scale is huge. To some people, it's huge. To me, it's not so huge, but to some people, it's huge. Like I said, 500, 600, 700 pounds difference is something, every month is something. So, but also we need to put into consideration that there's a catch to all these things. You need to put into consideration the tax cuts. The more you earn, and we're talking about someone who would earn at the end of working extra shifts, overtime, and everything, should be taking, if not for tax, should be taking home about £5,000, but it's taking about £3,200 at the end of the month. So you need to take that into consideration. And also, with the care home, like I said, the salary scale is constant. Is constant as compared to the NHS. But that low pay rate, you need to brace yourself for it should you choose to change from care home to the NHS, because it would really affect you, especially if you've started working with the care home and you're already used to the robust salary you earn every month. You really, really need to brace yourself for the impact of that, cut. Then
I
also
think that's why
another
a lot of
major,
people don't actually change. Like
yeah,
they're thinking
yeah.
of how do I keep up with the bills? If I move from taking 3,000 plus home and I'm going home with 2,000, like how do I make it up? So that's why a lot of people actually stay in nursing home.
Yeah. Then another major disadvantage is NHS won't pay you for your breaks. There's most care homes will, some of them don't. It depends on your contract.
Yeah,
Mine, the care home
but
I left
mine
paid
don't
for
pay
your
too.
break. Yeah, mine paid for NHS. I don't think, irrespective of the NHS trust you go to, they don't pay for your break. So you need to put that into consideration. For a 12-hour shift, you are entitled to to an hour break. So just know that that 1 hour is you're being paid for 11 hours. You take it or you don't take it. You understand? You take it or you don't take it. It's
Most
already
people
written
like
against your time sheet that you're working that day instead of 12 hours, 11 hours. So it's your choice if you take it, or it's your choice if you want to use it as a charity for the NHS. So you need to do that, and that's a major disadvantage for me. Then also, if you are newly employed to the NHS trust, this one is a major disadvantage. NHS won't pay for your DBS. For full disclosure, the DBS, for those who don't know, is the Disclosure Barring Service. It's like a security, how do I put it, state security check, whereby if you made any or committed any major offense, that is
Like,
unspent,
a police
or you
checkup.
are under the child birth service, all those offenses. That's what they check. NHS will pay you. They need the results. They need to do the check, but you are the one that will have to pay for it as the worker. It's either you pay for it directly, £30, or they take it from your salary. I see this as a major disadvantage because you are working for them. They should be able to sponsor all these things, but they won't. So you need to put that into consideration also. Then also another major disadvantage is there's a huge pension cut. I'll put it as a disadvantage because I feel people should be able to uh, choose. If like the Nigerian system, I think there's an ability for you to choose if you want to pay your pension or not. People should be able to
Mm.
choose this is the percentage I want out of my salary in terms of my future, not for you to constantly be cutting 7.1% of my salary. It's a huge amount. It's a huge amount, 7.1%, But at the same time, some
Have
people will
the
argue with that. Hmm?
Don't you have the option to opt out if you don't
No,
want
no, no,
it?
no. Mm-mm. No.
Uh,
It's constant. It's a compulsory thing. So that's the reason why I would put it as a disadvantage because you should be able to say no or this is the percentage cut I want. As compared to the care home, I think it's not as much as the NHS trust. Care home is about 5% only, but it's huge. It's huge, and it's a major disadvantage for me. Though it's towards your future yourself, because at the end of the day, they will give you the money, to live on when you retire. But to me, I will leave that as a disadvantage. Then the final disadvantage or con is parking. Parking. If you have a car with the NHS Trust, you pay to park your own car at your place of work, and it's a total turn off because people need your service. You're there to offer your service. As compared to the care home, it is free. I've never been to any care home. Of all the 15 plus care homes I've been to, I've never paid for my parking. Not once. There's always grounds for you where you park, no matter how huge the care home is. I feel it should be the same thing with the NHS Trust, but no matter maybe because it's always big, the trust, no matter how big the trust is, no matter how big the parking space is, you are always told to park, to pay for your parking, and there are some trusts that charge their own staff up to £6 a day for parking. Now imagine paying £6 a day for parking for 30 days. How much is left of the salary that we're still complaining of? So that's a major disadvantage. So people need to also put that into consideration. You don't, I feel it's not necessary for you to pay for your parking working with the NHS. Though people will argue with me that this same NHS trust has given people the opportunity to cycle to work, and some other benefits like free bus and co people who live far from where you're working, you need to drive to work. You don't, because if you say you want to take the bus, you need to wake up as early as 2 hours before your 3 hours because just because you want to use a free bus. So I feel it's a major disadvantage having to pay for your parking. And I think that's the end of my disadvantages or cons and my pros. And I have a question I would like to quickly answer before I move on by Raphael. He says I shouldn't forget to talk about what it takes to switch from a care home to the NHS. Now,
yes,
should I
that's
go
part
ahead
of
with that?
the today.
Okay. Now, it depends. I was and I am still a dependent. So it was quite a different process for me. As a dependent, all you need to do is apply directly to the
What do you
NHS
mean?
trust.
What do you mean by you are a dependent?
Dependent. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, my wife is the main sponsor. She's the main visa holder. I am under her. Even though we are both registered nurses, I just felt it's not financially sane or it's not feasible for the two of us to both hold visas. So it's best I'm independent under her rather than the two of us have visas. So it made it quite easier for me moving from the care home to the NHS trust. Very easy. All you just need to do, I will speak on as the perspective of the dependent and also as a visa holder, because my wife too also made that switch. So all you need to do is apply. I think it's www. Let me confirm, please. Just hold on. I'll
Is
give you
the
the website
NHS
so that
website?
people in the jobs website.
No,
I
I
know
think
it's
it's nhs.jobs.uk, something like
yeah,
that.
it is jobs dot it is job www.jobs.nhs.uk to apply. So you apply for any post that you want. And they will ask you if you will require sponsorship or if you will require a visa. You tell them no, because you actually don't. You're not under any employer or anything. And one thing I've discovered with dependents also is that you're not really bound to any contracts. Now, this depends on the kind of contract you get. Um, my wife and I are both registered nurses. I don't know what the situation of other people might be, but there wasn't really this contract that bound me to the employer, to the care home. So it was easy. I just tendered my 1 month notice as soon as I got the employment with the NHS Trust, and I moved. So the process in between is another thing. After applying, you get you get a notification if you've been shortlisted for an interview. Typical job process, employment process. You get interviewed. If you are successful, they tell you, they will inform you. They would have asked you during application how many days should you give your employer in terms of notice. So during that, the duration of you being employed, they would have informed you or advised you on when to drop or tender your notice of resignation for your present employer. So it's pretty much straight for a dependent. Now, for a visa holder, now there are two ways. 99% of the kind of contract that most registered nurses from Nigeria will come with to the UK will bind you to a 3-year contract with your employer. There are two ways about that contract. There are some contracts that will tell you if you leave after so period before that 3 years will elapse, this is how much you will pay. Do you understand?
Mhm.
And there are some that won't tell you, like they won't collect that amount. But it will be fair on you to work for at least quite a while with them because they need you. That's why they sponsored you to the UK rather than just for you to use it against them. So for someone who has that visa, I would advise you to go through your contract first. Know how long you've worked with the care home. Know what your contract states, how much it states that you will be paying back, and be prepared to pay that amount should they ask for it. Be prepared rather than
Okay.
uh,
Are you
going through the stress. Yeah, am I wrong?
are you going to pay that money cash or they will take it from your next salary?
Now it depends on the employer. It varies. Some would prefer to take it from your salary, and some would prefer you pay cash. Most of the time, if they say they want to take it from your salary, it might not even be up to the amount that they should take. You understand? So at the end of the day, you might not even get your salary and they'll still be telling you to pay so amount, you know. But it depends on the employer. But just be prepared, brace yourself for that impact should you be asked for that amount, especially if it is stated in your contract. Okay. So like I said, you apply to the NHS Trust for the job you want to work. And then you also inform them that you would need sponsorship. Present employer, the care home, would terminate your COS, certificate of sponsorship, once you leave them. Okay, so it is necessary for the NHS Trust to offer you a new certificate of sponsorship and a new visa. Now, there's this misconception that people make in terms of switching employers. People will tell you that you need to apply afresh for a new visa if you're changing as the main visa holder. You don't need to. I will state it again. You don't need to. So you don't make that mistake because it will cost you more. It will cost you more. All you need to do is, they call it visa extension. If you call home office, they will tell you all you need to. But the thing is, if you don't call home office and you apply afresh, as someone who is staying here and needs a brand new visa and everything, they will still collect your money. But if you call them and ask for their advice that you want to change employers and you are the main sponsor, your new employer, the NHS Trust, would offer their own COS. What do they advise you do? They will tell you to just extend your visa. It is during that extension that they will update their new employer and they will update the new COS. You understand? That is cheaper and that is faster as compared to you applying afresh for a new visa that is costlier. And that is that misconception. A lot of people keep making that misconception. They keep telling each other, and the information in this part of the country is key. You know, if you are misinformed, trust me, you are misinformed in everything. So most of the time, I always try to find out about things. So the best is a visa switch, or visa for you to do a new visa entirely. You will inform the employer you want to join the NHS Trust that you need a new COS. Do you understand? They don't need to do all these adverts and everything that they did for us before we came here to be able to get a new COS. So it's a bit faster as compared to when we were in Nigeria. You know, you get your COS, they'll tell you this is your COS. Now apply for it. So all you need to do is go to the gov.uk website and apply for an extension of visa. You know, people, whoever it is that is listening to this can they'll tell you, you extend your visa, that's what you need. So they will ask for your new COS during the extension, during the application to extend. They will ask for your new COS and your new employer. And that is what you would, apply with. You understand? And they will ask for you to do your biometrics and code here. You do that, and you get your extended PRP. Okay, your
Okay.
extended
So,
residence permit.
all right. So when you get this new COS, this new visa, remember the visa that you had was, let's say, 3 years, and you've already worked 1 year, so it was supposed to expire in 2 years' time. This new visa that you are
They
getting,
need to
is it
change
just
what?
for 2 years or
No,
another
no, no.
three years?
It's another 3 years will be added, so it moves forward. But the thing is, what makes it different from a new visa process entirely is that you don't necessarily need to carry your dependents along. It makes it cheaper. Your dependents will still stay under you. They are still covered under you. They don't need to apply afresh with you. Do you understand? But the disadvantage is your dependents' dates will still be the same. Do you understand? It will be extended. That is the main visa that will be extended. Your dependents are still under you, it's still valid under you. It won't be extended. It will still be the same. So what will be expected of your dependents is maybe 1 month towards the end of their own PRP expiration. They expect them to do that extension too. They don't need a COS. Dependents don't need COS. They just need to apply on gov.uk's website for an extension with the COS number of their main applicants. Okay, so as soon as you get that extension, your NHS trust would have informed you of when to tender your, and then you move to the NHS trust. And if there's any amount for you to pay, the account you make the payments and then you move on. There are some trusts that would even go as far as paying for the visa fee, paying for the. I know there's no more immigration health surcharge, so it makes the whole process even more cheaper. All you need to do is to get your visa fee, £464, and that's it. For you to change employer, £464, and there are some trusts that are generous enough to even pay for that. So you find out from the
Is it
trust, the ones that are covered for.
possible to get a trust to, like, pay you are supposed to pay back to your first employer?
Yes, there are some trusts that are that generous. It all depends on the trust. You speak with the HR, liaise with them, and they will inform you. If they call it
Um,
clawback, pay for clawback, they will. There are some trusts that covers clawbacks too. It's just about finding out from the trust if they do.
Okay. So when you switch over to the hospital, you are starting another 3 years contract with the hospital.
No, there wasn't any contract. With the NHS trust, there's no
No
contract. They
contract.
just give you contract. They just give you your letter of employment. There is a
No
contract.
contract.
And
Oh,
there might be a few contracts if they cover you for things like visa, and immigration health surcharge. But for my wife who switched and who was the main holder, there wasn't any, contract. It was just the letter of employment. There wasn't, no, there wasn't that. We didn't have that.
okay. All right, let me see if there are any questions. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You've answered a lot of our questions and my questions too.
I
Now I
have
think
people
we
who
set to
are
move.
asking how many years extension if you are switching employer to the NHS. Now, like I said earlier on, it's another 3 years plus the number of years you've already used. Okay. Now, if your previous PRP is to expire 2021, and you are applying to extend this year, they will add another 3 years to this year for it to expire. So you'll be seeing an expiration of up to 2023 or 2024. So it starts afresh plus 3 years from the date you are applying to extend. And what?
Question.
Okay, you're back. Do you want to answer Busayo or Funshi?
Like, what is bank nursing? Like, some NHS workers, they'll be like, oh, I have a bank shift. What is bank shift?
So bank nursing is I will use our layman term. It's like a side. You can decide to it's a job or an employment that is not really your primary employment. Every primary employment should have a permanent contract. You have at least 7.5 hours, of work. So in some NHS trusts, in some care homes, that's about just 3 days work. And as a bank nurse, meaning you are not there staff that they need, shifts, because we are still quite scarce here, and there are still shifts. There are still nurses needed for various shifts, so they don't always have that number of nurses that they require. So some employers, they always tend to call on bank nurses. They call them bank because they are not permanently employed, and the staff themselves choose to work anytime they choose. Like, they are the ones that choose to work. So what happens is, if it was a bank nursing care home job, the care home will contact you like, oh, we have so shifts available. Which days are you available? Or which days do you think you will work for us, on between those days, and then you choose and you go work for them. It's not your permanent job, but it's just like a side hustle. The same thing with the NHS trust too. There are different banks. I think Reed is the owner of the bank that we use in Leeds Trust here. And what they do is they publish different shifts online. So you choose from the one you want to pick, go to the ward, have the job, get the job done, maybe 12 hours shift, maybe 6 or 7 hours shift. Sign your time sheets, and then they pay you. They pay you for it.
So
So
working bank is like working agency shift. Is that it? Okay.
it is working agency shifts.
but within the same NHS trust that you work in.
It could be,
All right.
it's not necessary for you to be the same NHS trust. It could be different trusts. It could be different trust. It could be another care home, but it's like a side hustle. It's not your main primary employment. You know. How can a nurse come to the UK
Come
since
to the
agency?
UK
I think
on
I'm sure
hold.
that.
Okay, so with the agency on hold now, I think you should apply directly to the NHS trust, because I know after watching these videos, a lot of you want to run to the NHS trust. So David already gave us the website jobs.nhs.uk. If you go there, you're going to find a lot of vacancies. Just look for the ones that is giving sponsorship to international nurses. Those ones will bring you over and pay for your visa, your flight, and everything. So look for those ones, and also look for the ones that the closing date is closed, so you don't have to wait for a very long time to get feedback. So check my YouTube channel too, Scholastica Ogboka. I have some videos, a lot of videos about nursing in the UK. So just hit me up there. Okay. All right, let's see. Any other question? Mhm. I'm just checking the comments here to see if I missed anyone. All right, if there's no other question, can we say good night to David?
Good night, and thank you very much for the opportunity
Don't
to
say good night
explain
yet.
this because
Don't.
actually, no,
No, we're not saying good night yet. We are waiting to see if there are any questions. We're going to wait for like,
okay,
let's say, 5 minutes to see, because it
no
was very
problem,
hard to bring you here on this live stream. So
no
we're
problem,
going to
no
use up
problem,
all
no
the
problem,
opportunity.
no
All right,
problem.
let's see. Thank you very much for the explanation from Busayo. Thank you, Busayo. Hi. Hi, Temperance. Okay, there is another question. I already got an offer with a care home, but David has sent me to. I told you.
Well,
Not everyone.
it depends. I would advise people to check all the pros and cons, then make their decisions because it varies with what you choose, what you want for yourself. Some don't mind, and some, it's all about the money. The
Oh,
cons might outweigh the
that
pros to
even
some. So
reminds me. Hmm.
so it
That
depends on
reminds me.
individual. Yeah.
There is a part. Sorry, finish what you were saying. We'll go back to it.
Yeah, so
Finish
it
what.
depends on the individual. It all depends on your preference. So don't think NHS is far better than care home or NHS, and everybody must go to the NHS. It depends on
You
what you
guys
want
have
for
heard it
yourself.
too.
Mine is just to make it plain, like a transparent thing to everybody, because I actually wish I got this kind of opportunity, when I was in Nigeria. I would have chosen different. I wouldn't have choosing the care home. And to some will be like, oh, it was previously the NHS, but now that I know I can get better with the care home, they will actually choose the care home. So it all depends on individual preference. Mine is just to make it plain and known to everybody.
Okay. So that reminds me, we were actually supposed to also talk about things to consider when you are choosing where to work. So you can decide to choose the NHS hospital, or you can decide to choose the nursing home. So what you should consider is what matters to you more. Like, I get a lot of questions about this. Which setting do you think is better? Do you think I should go for nursing home or NHS hospital? And in summary, like what I say in summary, if you think you want nursing growth, you want to develop your skills, you want those benefits and all that, choose the NHS hospital. If you want more money, if money is the most important thing to you, choose the nursing home. And another thing, if you are a young person, let's say you are in your 20s or early 30s, you are single. I'm talking from the ladies' part of us, the ladies' perspective now. You are single and you want to mingle, go to the NHS hospital. Like you will meet a lot of people there. You can socialize, and who knows, something can lead to something. And if you are, David, why are you laughing? If you are a woman, let's say you just have few years to work and then you retire and you are not really looking for anything exciting, you just want somewhere that you can work, just relax, do your normal routine, get your money, go home and retire, then choose the nursing home. The nursing home is slow paced. There is nothing exciting happening there. It's kind of a repetitive stuff, so it gets boring over time. So choose the nursing home if that is you. If you don't want any stress, if you don't want the adrenaline rush, just go to the nursing home. But if you are newly married or single and you want to socialize and you are planning to have children, you don't have any kids yet, go to the NHS hospital. So that is my summary. So it depends on what you actually want and what is going to suit you better as a person. Nobody can actually tell you which setting is better. It just depends on you. Okay, so any more questions before we say good night to Davy? Let me see. Mm. Oh, and if you already got an offer with a nursing home and now you are deciding to switch to the NHS hospital, you can still do that if you have not gotten your, well, even if you have gotten your COS, your certificate of sponsorship, you can still do that. But if possible, try to make the decision before you accept any contract, before you sign any contract, make that decision. So don't lead two agencies or two employers on. Choose one and stick to it. All right. David, any other thing you want to add?
I wish people good luck. I wish my colleagues over there in Nigeria good luck. And you like it here. It's nice. And you learn to get to do things the correct and the correct way. You know,
The
you
right
learn how
way.
to do things the right way. Um, don't give up on your dreams for those who are still trying. Please, that's very important. There is no success story that doesn't have its own failures. Okay. IELTS is quite a daunting task to some. Some, it might be the finances to be able to get the fees for the IELTS, but trust me, don't give up on that dreams. Don't give up on that dreams. Um, it's not easy. For those who have gotten here, we all have our stories to tell. It's not easy at all. Don't give up on the dreams. Keep working hard because I can tell you categorically that no matter how stressful or how hard or how difficult it is for you to get here, once you get here, it takes about just 2 months for you to forget all the stress. It takes about 2 months for you to make all the money you think you spent that nobody can ever pay back. It takes about 2 or 3 months for you to make that cash back. So don't give up on your dreams, be it NCLEX, be it the CBT, be it UK, be it Australia. I don't know where this video will go to. You know, I don't know who would be watching this video. Don't give up on your dreams, okay? You would get there. If you can dream it, you can achieve it. That's all I have to say.
And follow me on YouTube, Scholastica Oboka. Subscribe to my channel so you guys will get more videos like this. And thank you so much. Thank you for joining us tonight. And thank you, David. All right,
You're
guys.
welcome. You're welcome.
Bye. Oh, wait, one.
Hold on.
Which
Which
state?
of the states is preferably to work, Ireland or London? Since you gave me the two locations,
Okay.
I would categorically tell you anywhere, even if you wake me up from sleep, it is Ireland, please.
It's
Now,
well.
wait,
It's
Ireland
well.
or London? Is it Northern Ireland or London or Ireland? Well,
Northern Ireland. I think she
if
means
it is
Northern
Northern
Ireland.
Ireland, I would say
Ireland is
Northern Ireland. I would say Northern Ireland, but for Ireland, I'm not so sure because Ireland is different from Northern Ireland, you know. But London, please avoid at all. I know everybody, all the naive individuals who want to come towards the south. Yeah, they want to come towards the south. Please avoid as much as you can if you want to save and if you go quickly. If not, you will be working and all your salary will be towards having a good life for yourself. Because when you think about the council tax, when you think about the rent in London, no, I don't advise people who are fresh, to just come have an experience of other cities. There are lots of beautiful cities in England, come check out other cities that are not so costly to live in. Northern Ireland is one of the best that you can live in. Find, choosing London and all those major cities. Then another advice I'll give people is before you choose your location, find cost of location. There are ways you can do that. Find out how much the rent in that location is. Download the application called Zoopla. Search for you can the names of cities. Find out how much one room apartments would cost you, 2 room, and compare it to other places. That's how to get to know if a place is cheap to live in and if a place is costly to live in. Now, trust me, being living in a cheap city doesn't mean that you're living in a deprived city or a city that with high crime rates or blah blah blah. No, that doesn't work that way here. Remember that you also have people in Nigeria to help. Remember that you are also here to seek greener pastures. Remember that you have a family too. So you wouldn't want to be earning and then about salaries going towards your rent and council tax and some other levy you'll be paying here. So avoid all those high-end areas. I'm talking about London because I know people are always aiming for London whenever they come here. London, London, London. UK is not just London. England is not just London. Avoid London as much as you can. You will thank me later when you get here. So find out how cheap it is to live in a city. Make your findings before you make your move. All right. Manchester is a beautiful place.
Manchester is good, but Northern Ireland is cheaper.
Yes, and the cheaper
than any day. Northern Ireland is the best. Any day, anytime. Thank you, guys. So, until next time, I think I should try to do more live streams more when I figure it out, obviously. So, bye.
See ya.